Hi friends, hope you are doing fine. So last session we discussed about our MariaDB database. We discussed what are the features we have in MariaDB, how it is different from MySQL, and what are the advantages we have, and how we did installation also. We created a database also. We created tables also. So today we will do something more, and we will create some more tables, and we will create entries, and we will do some SQL query, and we will create user, and we will grant the permission to user, and we will also do some backup tasks. We will uh, explain like how we can restore database if anything goes wrong, and these are the features. Actually earlier I discussed about MariaDB. What are the things we have? Theory sections we have already completed, and some of the implementation task was pending. So today we will do our those pending tasks which we have done in the last session. The same thing we will continue from there. So we already did the installations and everything we did here. So here I'm going through all slides, whatever the things we have covered. So let us go to the same sections where we have left off. So here you can see we created database, and we have created two tables. So now we will, you can see that what we have in my guest. So only one entries we have in my guest. So let us do some more entries in my guest table. So let me insert some new values. So what you can do, you can do in two sections. So I am giving the columns first name, last name, email, and date. Now in next section we will give values. So here I will change something. So date I will change. I will give date 2020 hyphen 05 31st. I will give some names. I will give some name here. Values. Let us put some entries here. So incorrect date values. So we will check what exactly the problems we have here. So I will take some more example. We'll take some values. So here you can see that one thing got like one rows got inserted in the my guest. Similarly, let's me put some more entries over here. We'll put X, Y, Z, J, K. Some entries I will take. Some, for example, I'm taking entries. So here, similarly, I will put some more entries. So these values got inserted in my guests. So these values are getting inserted. So you can check here, select strict from my key values. So if I want to see some particular value, I want only first name. So here I am getting first name. Similarly, you can put last name. So similarly, we can get all those values. So you can see that our my guest table, we have multiple entries over here. So in ID field, you can see I'm not inserting anything. It's automatically giving my numeric ID. So here, if I'm putting select where, we can use our operator. So here I'm putting some first name, those first name which is in Golson. So similarly, you can get more details. You can filter out all those details like that. So let's put some more entries in our other tables. Uh, so I will put some more entries in inventory field. So let's see which entry we can put here, and we will show you in tutorials table. We will put some more entries over here. We have another table over here, and the columns. So here you can see we have one row I have inserted over here. So similarly, you can insert many things like so here you can see that I've inserted one rows. So similarly, I'm putting some more entry over here in this rows. So, and if I will check my entries from the tables, this table, tutorials table, I can see my values. Whatever the things we are entering here, you can see here. Now, if I want to filter, see, we can get the values according to, you can put a filter. Here we have only few entries, but in real scenarios, we will have a multiple thousands of entries, and you can get all those values. So if I want to know the submission, anything which is happening this particular submission date, see, all those values will come. So now we can see like we have created a database, we have created a values, we have created a tables. So we'll have a multiple entries in database. So let us do something more. So let us. So I'm just coming out from my database, and you can see now we have only one user right now in our tables. So let us do some more investigation so that you will have a complete idea uh, what exactly we are doing. So if anywhere, if you want to know about the tables, what exactly these tables will is doing, so you can use scribe command. So here you can see these are my field. First name varchar, that means character. 30 characters we can take. Last name, this one. Email ID 50 characters. Timestamp we can provide. Current timestamp also we can provide. Integer type. This is your character value will not come. It's a primary. Auto increment happen. Extra. No need to put the entries. It automatically get inserted. Similarly, we can describe other tables. This one also. Here you can see what are the integer type, whether date type, whether everything, what are the things is there. So similarly, you can create a table, structure your table, structure your database, put multiple entries. Uh, if you are like, if I am using my SQL, so here you see how many tables is there. You can see we have multiple tables and general log. Let us suppose if I am putting general log. See, all those things will come like this. So let us put some where this database values is getting stored, that we will check out. And let us do something more over here. So here we have seen like how we inserted our values, how we created our tables. So I will show you the place where your database is putting all those informations. So here you can see this is the place where everything is getting stored. You have created one database inventory, and by default MySQL is there. So if you will go inside this directory, you can find out your all details. All values will come over here. Whatever the things getting stored, you can see all those values. This is the location, default location where MySQL MariaDB data is storing all database information. See, all those. This is unreadable binary format, so you cannot. But all information is stored over here in these locations. User lib MySQL, where all log files, database information is getting stored. So now we will create some users. So what we will do, we will create, I will create one directory, and we will take the backup of our files. But before taking backup, I need to have a like on that particular locations where yes, I am inside those files now. Now inventory database is over here. I've created a backup folder. Now I want to take a backup of that particular file. So let us see how can we take the backup. So here you see, I'm giving MySQL dump -u root inventory. I want to take a backup of my inventory database. So here I am taking a backup. So it's asking a password, root password. So now if you go to backup folder, you can see you inventory database backup is already there. Similarly, if I want to take the backup of all database, we can also do that by using all database. So let us suppose if I want to take the backup of entire MariaDB, we can do that. I can go to that place, and here I will give the syntax over like this. So now my entire MariaDB backup, we can find it over here. See, so we individually, you can also take a backup of one database, or you can either you can take a backup of entire MariaDB. That depends upon you. Now let us do some operation. Let us suppose if you lose some tables. Let us go to that place. So here I've created two tables, and you know that we have inserted some values in these two tables. So now I have already taken the backup of my inventory database. So what exactly I want to show you? Let us suppose some corruption happen. Let us suppose these tables, right now we have the data. Now drop table this one. So you can see now only one table is there. Now I'm dropping another table also. Now we don't have anything in our inventory database. Now we have whatever the values we have, whatever the tables we have created in that inventory database, everything is lost. So now how do I restore? Because we have taken the backup. So from the backup folder, how do I restore my data that I want to show you? So here what exactly I will do, I will go to that place, and we will restore our inventory data using this command. Earlier I have taken redirection command. So here you can give mysql -u root inventory -p inventory dump file you can provide. So it will restore the data. So see, now if I will go to my SQL -u -p, I will go to that place, inventory. See, my data is back. I restored my data. Let us check value. See, all informations, whatever the backup we can restore from our restore command. So here you can see I got my all informations. So now we have seen how we have inserted the values in MariaDB tables, how we created a database, how we can take the backup of our database, what is the location of our MySQL inventory or database, and how we can take the backup of all those things. So now we will create some users and we will grant our permission to those users, and so that they can, because the entire permission we cannot grant to all users. So we, in our corporate environments, we have a several users. We can grant permission to to our database tables according to their works, privileges, roles. So that we are going to see how we can grant permission to our user. So that I will show you. So now we will create some user. So let us suppose I'm going to we have created one database. So let us suppose I'm going on to my place and we will create some user over here in inventory file. And as we explained in our slide also, uh, in our slide we have we have explained how we can create users. Here you can see create user. You can define the password, which password you want to keep. Create user identified by grant, select, insert, update, delete on which tables, which database you can provide. You got what user you want to grant the permissions, that we can do like that. So create user, Mary, and their password. So here, if you see in that, here we have given some values. User mobiles can connect from any host. User mobiles can connect from any host that belongs to the network, this one. So similarly, we can provide global privileges such as create user, show database. So here what we will do, we will so now I'm in inventory database. Now I'm going to create some user over here. I am creating user localhost. I am creating some more user one, and we will keep the permissions as well. User one identified by Red Hat. So I am giving password as well to that user. So now if I will give another user two, so since I am in the inventory database, all these users will by default have privileges of inventory. So let us change. I will use MySQL. Now my prompt has been changed. Now I will create some more user over here. User 3. And user 4. Now if you will see here in Mobius, I didn't provide the password to the user. So user can log in. And but since I have created for inventory, so we will check the user privileges, how it is working. So MySQL, in place of root, I will go and will give this user. I have not given any password to that particular user. So password is not required. See, none. See, information schema, all the database is not coming. If I will do inventory access denied, now if I will change the username over here, I will give user 1 because I have not given any password to it. Here I have given the password. So I click to provide password. Now use inventory. Database inventory access denied because we have created a user, but we have not granted any permission to that user. So any user. So similarly, if I want to create any user, we need to give the permission as well. So here you can see you can provide permission as well. Create user, grant permission to that user. So we will try to grant the permission to the user. Here what we will do, grant, create, select, create, insert, update, delete, on, inventory, to user 1. Sometimes we have some grant select to legacy. We have created legacy. So we can grant permission to user depending upon their roles and privileges. So here if I will see use inventory, so here we can see that user informations over here. So you can see now we have granted the permission to user 1 on inventory. So similarly, we have not put it the commas over earlier. So now we will grant some permission to user 2. User 2. So user 1 and user 2 is having all permission on inventory. But user 3, I want to grant permission on MySQL. So now we will go to our database, and now here I will put user 1. See, now we have the required permissions over here. Sort tables. Inventory. Use whether we can create. So we have the permission inventory on user 1. So now what exactly we can do? Create tables. If I want to create some tables, whether we can create tables? Yes, I'm user 1 right now. So let us do some creations of I will put if I try to log in and I want to use MySQL. See here we don't have the permission. User 1 doesn't have the permission on MySQL, but he has a permission on inventory. And if I want to create tables, let us suppose in place of TBL, if I will put some other similar different table name. Since I have the permission, let's see. We do not have the complete permissions right now. We can access inventory, but we don't have the complete permission. Access denied for user 1 to database. So if I will go here in root section, and again I will go to the same thing here. Here, and we will use user 1. And as per the slide informations, we will grant the permission to legacy so we want to see all the informations, whatever the information which is required. No database selected. Star. I want to give the complete permission to that user 1 and user 2. Now let us check now. See, now we have the complete permissions. Earlier we don't have the permission. Now we have given granted all the permission to user 2. Similarly, user 3 is having permission on MySQL, but doesn't have the permission on use MySQL. He doesn't have the permissions right now. So let us give the permissions to user 3. So we'll grant the permission to user 3 on MySQL. So here, if you see, I will grant using wildcards. So now SQL, I have granted the permission to user 3. Now, if I want to provide to user 2 also. So now user 2 is having the permissions of MySQL. Now I will go via user 3 first of all. See, now we have the permissions. User 3 is having the permissions. Similarly, if I will go to user 2 is having permissions on inventory as well as MySQL. See, so similarly, we can provide access rights to users and grant the permission to our users depending upon their rules, rights. So I already explained in my slide as well how to grant the permissions, how to create the users, how to, you can also revoke the permissions as well. So you can provide database wise, you can provide anything which is related to a specific, particularly for account wise, you can also provide the access. So we have gone through all the sections on MariaDB. I hope you understand what exactly we are doing on this RDBMS terminology, and MariaDB is very much popular, particularly in this hybrid cloud, because our OpenStack, OpenShift, and most of the technology is totally dependent upon the MariaDB. So we need to have the complete understanding of MariaDB, and we have discussed like how to grant permission, how to take up backup of the permission, how to create tables, how to insert values on the tables, how to use our operators to filter our information on tables. So this information is really useful, and we have gone through all the hands-on implementation on database. So I hope this session is really information. So I'm closing this session right now. Thanks for watching.